Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Deals Friday. My name is Nick Clark from Jenic Property, helping you profit through UK property. In this week's episode number 12, we're going to be going into a 3-bedroom converting to a 4-bedroom property, and it's a mid-terrace property in the northwest of England. Now, our client's goal for this is purely monthly profit to be able to build up his property pension. So let's dive into this week's property and look into numbers and also see exactly what is entailed for you to get involved. So the purchase price of this property is £62,000, which is a great property purchase price and good entry level for anyone to get involved. Now, the refurb on this property is a little bit higher than our normal, say, buy-to-lets, and the reason for that is because this is a HMO, which is a house of multiple occupancy. So the £40,000 for the actual refurb, that means we're going to be converting from a 3-bedroom to 4 bedrooms with en-suites. Let's dive into the refurb to see exactly what that entails and what you're getting for your money. So the refurb breakdown is a full strip out of the full property. Now that means we take everything back to brick and we completely replaster the property. The reason why we do that is because we have to change the full layout of the property. To be able to get 4 bedrooms in this property, we had to obviously put new partition walls up. We had to move walls as well, as you can see in the actual pictures showing up here before. On top of that, what we had to do is we had to create obviously 4 bedrooms with 3 en-suites. So what we did on this property specifically is we were able to get 3 en-suites, and we've done a separate bathroom specifically for one of the bedrooms right next to it. We weren't able to put an ensuite into that bedroom. The reason for it is we just didn't have the right space for the actual bedroom. So it means that we don't want to compensate on actual floor space. Otherwise, what we find is that the rooms will not rent out. So we need to make sure that each room has a net floor space of 10.2 square meters. That's after the actual en-suites are in. That's our standard. And also, if you're looking at renting out to 2 people in a HMO, that comes to a double occupancy rate, which you can go into in future videos. On top of that, we've got actually new kitchen, new obviously full new heating system, and also plumbing throughout the whole property, as well as full new drainage, and making sure that we've got fire doors, new flooring throughout, full rewire, and that includes obviously any wiring for fire systems, safety lighting and emergency lighting, as well as windows for the property that needed replacing. So let's dive into the actual the rest of the actual figures, and then we can dive into the rental figures after that. So the rest of the cost to actually get into this deal, so we've got legals and surveys of £1,300. We also got the stamp duty estimate of £1,860. That's 3% of the actual purchase price, which was £62,000. And then on top of that, we had a sourcing fee of £6,000 on this property, as well as a project management fee of £4,000. That means we're able to actually find the deal, negotiate it, bring it to our buyer at the price that suits him best, and also be able to project manage that build so they could be completely hands-off throughout the whole refurb, and we deal with everything for them, which means that they can have minimal time involvement. Now that brings the total cash into this property of £115,000, £160 in total to the actual property. And the actual strategy for this property, as I said, is converting it to a 4-bedroom HMO with en-suites. Now the tenant profile for this would be actually professionals, which means that they're actually consultants or the actual professionals in the area, where they actually live in the properties during the week and then maybe go home on the weekend. Otherwise, just there permanently, and they just want a high quality product and they want to have a home away from home. These tenants actually go on a 12-month contract, and also we have find that there's low voids on these actual type of tenants, rather than say a different type of tenant profile in other areas where you might have high voids and high turnaround of tenants. Let's dive into the rental figures to see exactly what monthly profit you're getting on this type of property. So the rental figures on this property would be £2,074 per calendar month. Now in a HMO, which is a house of multiple occupancy, you'll be renting out the individual rooms, which means that you'll be able to get a higher rental income for the property rather than say a standard rental figure to say a family. So that would be £2,074. Now, if you had to get a mortgage on this, because our client was based in Hong Kong, they were able to get a mortgage on this property based on 7% interest only, and that'd be £253.17 per calendar month. Now, considering your actual rent that you're getting, that's very, very small that you'll be able to actually fork out on your mortgage. Then on top of that, you've got a management fee of 12%, which is £248.88. And then also you've got monthly expenses to take into account. This will consist of, say, gas and electric, council tax, as well as your water and your TV license and any other costs involved with that. And that's £414.80 estimate on this property. Now, a monthly profit estimate on this property would be around about £1,157.16, which brings a yield estimate based on the purchase price of the property of a whopping 21.6%. Now, please bear in mind that is based on the actual purchase price, not on your total spending. The annual profit on this property estimate would be around about £13,885.80 in total for this property, which is a fantastic return on any property that you could be actually investing on. Now, our client is actually based in Hong Kong, and their actual occupation is actually a heart surgeon. Fantastic person, very, very fast at responding, and actually really proactive and making sure that things get done very, very quickly. This was actually based on a referral from one of our other clients who bought other HMOs and buy-to-lets through us, and this was actually their first property with us. This property has been rented out for the past 18 months and had very minimal voids and very minimal turnaround of tenants. They actually bought this property cash, and then they decided to actually remortgage at a later date, which means that they'll be able to get a 70% loan to value on the actual property at a 7% interest. Now, yes, they did buy cash, so the total cash into this deal was £115,160. But if you did want to buy it with a mortgage at a 70% loan to value, you'd be looking around about £71,760 to get into the deal. Now, please bear in mind, you may have different costs, and that might be lower for you, or it might be a little bit higher as well. However, what we did find is our client did take our full done for you service, and the reason why they've done that is because he is based in Hong Kong and is unable to be able to fly back and forth to look after the property, or also be able to find the right deals that suit his investment strategy, which means that he can actually move faster, make decisions quicker, and be able to build his portfolio very, very fast. So let's dive into detail of what that actually entails. So for the full done for you service, we actually take care of everything from the negotiations to getting the deal ready to making sure that it fits to our actual client's requirements. Then also making sure that it's the right property on the right street, because the last thing you want to be doing is buying a property, doing this extent of refurb, and you can't rent it out because of either parking or location, too far out, etc. So this is based on street by street, and understanding your area is important. That way our expertise comes in, and our clients rely on that to be able to get the right property based on their strategy they want to execute on. Now, yes, this does mean that our client can have minimal time involvement. They are a heart surgeon, and they're very, very high in demand within their area of field that they specialize in, which means that they don't actually have time to be able to deal with builders or anything like that, which means that we dealt with the full project management, and they actually didn't have to deal with any refurbs, any inquiries from the builder, any building regulations, making sure that the fire officers coming in. We dealt with everything on that, so they could be completely hands off, and they knew that everything was getting sorted with them. So they had regular updates every single week to be able to get the right actual updates and know they got peace of mind that the progress of the property is moving along nice and fine, on time and on budget. Now, after that, we actually handed it to our lettings managers team, where they're able to actually rent out the property, and we communicate with them just beforehand, so they knew that the property was actually coming towards them, and they were able to get that rented out as soon as possible. Now, because the actual properties are very high standard, they rent out very, very quickly, knowing that we'll be able to get the tenants in on a regular basis. So if a tenant does decide to move out, they can be actually put new tenants in there very, very quickly. Now, this property in summary is simply a 4-bedroom with 3 en-suites and also a separate bathroom for one of the bedrooms right next to it. Now, the great thing about this property is that you are getting the uplift on the actual rental income. Just bear in mind that this is not always an entry-level property that you want to go in. Yes, you're getting great monthly profit, but you also need to make sure that you're building your buy-to-lets on the foundation of your portfolio. Don't get distracted by just the shiny, big profit margins on this. This is something that you really want to be able to make sure that it works in alignment of your buy-to-lets as well. Now, if this is something that you want to get involved with, then please reach out to us. You'll be able to have a full done-for-you property service, and we can take care of the whole service for you. And just reach out to us on email at info@jenicproperty.com. That's info@jenicproperty.com. Otherwise, hit me up on Messenger through Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn on Property with Nick Clark. That's Property with Nick Clark. Otherwise, head to our website at jenicproperty.com and you can book in a call with one of our team to discuss your strategy and see how we can actually get you moving forward within property with minimal time, effort, and know that you can actually redefine your retirement and get moving forward quicker today. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Nick Clark from Jenic Property, helping you profit from UK property. See you on next week's Deals Friday.